right. So without further ado then, it is time to head on over to the first round of our sketch-off. We do have one prompt already in the Q&A from Nancy Johnson, so we can start with Nancy's suggestion since it's already there. But why doesn't everyone else who is in the audience think of something that they would love to see our illustrators draw? You can continue to drop in your ideas and your prompts into that Q&A box as we're going along, and I'll scroll through and pick them out. So no need to wait for my my prompt to put it in. So we'll start with Nancy's, and Nancy would like a drawing of one of your favorite foods as a superhero-ish character in the setting of a cupboard, or even in the refrigerator or dinner table.
Oh my gosh, that's really fun.
All right, do you want me to read it aloud one more time, or do you feel like you guys are good?
I got it.
It's one of your favorite foods as a superhero. Gene, I haven't started the timer.
Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to do that?
Already we have some unregulated drawing. All right, everyone's good with the prompt?
Yeah.
All right, 90 seconds on the clock. Go.
Okay. I'm just gonna draw what Gene's drawing.
How come I'm the only one that's showing it?
Because you have a camera set up.
You're
I
the
thought
most
they
tech-savvy,
said, well, I'm supposed to show it. What happened?
We're all doing our best working from home. You've got the setup.
Yeah, I got the setup. I got the setup.
Oh, geez.
I guess it's a silent timer.
It's on my phone. It's backwards, but you're at about 45 seconds.
Wait, when are we ending again?
90 seconds, so you're about halfway there.
Jeez. Okay. I should have skipped the sketchy part.
You're probably gonna slow down a bit.
This is a friendly group, so if you need a few extra seconds, I think I can be swayed. Everyone has a price. I could be easily bribed. Oh, I actually already am. It's a minute and 12 seconds. I've talked over the timer. All right, everyone finish up your drawing. Tick tock, tick tock. All right, I'm gonna read the prompt one more time for everyone, and that will be the signal that we are officially done. So Nancy's prompt again for everyone was your favorite food as a superhero-ish character in the setting of a cupboard or oven, refrigerator, etc. So we will start with
they're still drawing though. I feel like they're still drawing.
What's that?
What?
Is that true? They're still drawing.
I'm done.
This is the honor system, guys. We have to trust each other.
That was the benefit of not showing your drawing board.
Gene, would you like to start, since we kind of had a sneak peek of yours, and the other rounds will
I'm
start
still cheating though.
rotating.
Well, I don't know, it looks like a banana, but I meant to draw corn, and I didn't get a chance to put in a background at all. Because
That's good.
Of course, superhero, I like it. Our attendees are saying that it looks like corn.
I like that it's like
Janet
revealing his costume. like he's maybe he's a banana as a secret identity, but on the inside he's corn. He's revealing.
Yeah, I was struggling with that, because is it okay to show naked corn? You know what I mean? Like if it's a superhero. But.
All right, who wants to go next? Any volunteers, or shall I pick? Michaela, let's see.
Sorry, I don't have a setup like Gene. That's a great setup. A salmon, because I eat a lot of salmon up here. So, just a salmon coming to life on the dinner table.
I like it. Those eyes look very ominous. They're after that salmon.
So clearly your lack of setup, it makes for a better drawing.
Yeah, no, I like your setup.
You have a background. You have an awesome background.
All right, John.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
So anyone who follows me on
very nice.
Instagram knows that I mostly post pizza. So I figured I'd do a slice of pizza.
I see a common theme. We have a lot of capes happening.
Visual shorthand.
Yeah. look beautiful. Everyone did such a great job. Our attendees are loving them. They love the corn, the salmon, the pizza. You're making everyone very hungry, so that was a very good prompt. Thank you, Nancy. I'm gonna take a look now at the Q&A for our second prompt, but again, if you have a suggestion that you wanna give to our illustrators for their next round, please put it into the Q&A. The chat is for showing support and giving a 3 cheers for all of our illustrators' efforts, but if you have a prompt that you would like us to see, go ahead and put that in the Q&A. I'm gonna scroll through now and pick our next prompt. Janet also very nicely in the comments reminded me that 90 seconds is a minute and a half, so I did kind of cut you off a little bit because I was expecting my timer to say 90. So I shortchanged you a little bit there, and I will be better at that, I promise, my friends.
It's quarantine brain. That's
It is, it so is. Time is such a flat surface. I don't, what day is it? Ooh. Okay, this is one from Susan. She would like to know, or would like for you to draw what really happens when you swallow bubble gum. All right, so this time 90 seconds, which is a minute and a half, on the clock. Reset, on your mark, get set, draw. I see your heads down already. Oh, we have a 7-year-old in the audience that says the corn superhero should be named Quarantine, and I think that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
All right, you've got a minute left.
I don't know anything about it inside and out.
It's all right. It's the imagination. It doesn't have to be atomically correct. You have 30 seconds-ish. All right. And time. All right. Pencils, markers down,
man,
everyone. Gene, for a reminder for everyone, we are seeing what really happens when you swallow bubble gum. John, do you want to start us off this time around?
Sure. Mine certainly isn't as refined as Gene's is that I saw there, but I drew. So I drew. It might be hard to read. I drew a piece of bubble gum going into his stomach, screaming, and it co-stars the corn from Gene's drawing that says, "Yep, I'm stuck in here forever too."
Oh no! Bubblegum is the arch emesis of quarantine.
Yes,
quarantine.
They both don't digest very well.
All right, Gene, you want to show us yours next?
Well, I've only swallowed bubblegum once in my life, and this is what happened. My head turned into a bubble, and I floated away. Took my family 3 days to find me. It was really crazy.
That's so
Michaela,
good.
what happens to you when you swallow bubblegum?
Okay, so fast sketching is not my thing. I'm on the fish bandwagon here.
I see. Very nice. Excellent work, guys. The attendees love the fish, Michaela. They think it's great. It's a bubble fish. Very Justin. I like that. All right, we're going to head back over to the Q&A for our next prompt. Again, if you've got something you want to see the authors draw, put it into that Q&A. Show support for your favorite drawing. Name them the way we have been in the chat. Talk to your fellow attendees. Oh my God, there's so many good ones, but how will we ever decide? All right. We have from Sarah Bean Thompson, draw a monster at ballet/dance class. A monster at ballet/dance class. Resetting the timer. Ready, steady, go. All right, we have just about 30 seconds. All right, I'm gonna call time. Everyone finish up? All right, to remind everyone, in case you've just joined us, the prompt that we are dealing with right now is a monster at a ballet or dance class. Michaela, do you want to go first?
Sure. Perfect.
A very nautical theme for you.
Just doing a little twirl.
I love it. John, you want to go next?
Okay, mine. I also did one with a lot of tentacles. So mine
There's
is
a lot of mind melding happening here for a virtual event.
Mine is screaming that they have too many legs.
It does make dancing hard.
Well, everybody's buying a lot of shoes.
Gene, you want to show us yours?
Okay, I did cheat a little bit because I kept drawing, but it didn't make it that much better. It's just a
very
random
refined.
green monster. Yeah. Again, no background. I think that's what my editor complains about my comics. No background.
Well, we're getting awesome reactions from the audience. Very funny, very awesome, very enthused crowd. All right. So this next one that I'm gonna select, Michaela, I think was handmade for you.
Really?
Yes, it's from Claudia, and she would like for you guys to draw a yet discovered fish species.
Ooh.
And how to catch it.
How to catch it.
I'm resetting the timer, and on your mark, it's set. You're already drawing. Go.
Yikes.
All right, we have about 30 seconds. All right, 5 more seconds. End time. Taking advantage of our charity.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
All right, John, do you want to go first?
Sure. I did not look at what Gene was drawing, but I also
look at
drew
that.
a fish with legs.
You guys, we are all on the
Mine's
same
very, very
wavelength.
tall.
As if I'm drawing anything, but I love it.
Yeah, mine's very, very tall, and so to catch it, you're gonna need a much bigger net and ladder than these guys have. So yeah, there's my two-legged skyfish.
All right, Gene, you want to show us yours?
Sure. So I also drew a fish with legs, a fish who loves hot dogs. So that's how you would put out hot dogs.
I also love hot dogs.
And
Me
Converse.
too.
So do they put a hot dog out to trap it? Is that kind of how it works?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly
I like
right.
it. All right, Michaela, how about you?
I've got some sort of hook-nosed fairy fish.
But also being lured by food, by pizza.
Yes, so we got John's pizza in there. So a little bit of
Hot dog bait
bit
and
of food
pizza
there.
bait. I love it. Guys, you are all on the same wavelength. This is very amazing. Okay, so that has been 4 rounds. So this next prompt is going to be our last and final sketching round, and then we're going to move into the Q&A portion. So I'm going to scroll through the Q&A section now to get our last and final prompt. I think because it's the last one, I'll give you guys a little bit extra time to really wow us. And then we'll open it up to Q&A from the audience. So if you have a question for one of our illustrators that you would like to know about their work or about the drawings that they've created for us tonight or in their books or their process or anything like that, you can put that in the Q&A as well. It would be great if you put your name so that we can just let everyone know who's asking the questions. But if you prefer your question to remain anonymous, we can also roll with that. So you can put that in the Q&A box as well, and then the chat will continue to be with you guys chatting amongst yourselves and sharing your favorite illustrations and naming them. So let's see. 4-0 here. Gregory has given us the prompts. Librarians run the circus. So our last prompt is, we could say a librarian circus act or a librarian running the circus. Circus librarian, anything along those lines. I will start the timer.
Start?
Yep, go, you can start. So again, guys, attendees, while the illustrators are drawing their last and final prompt, if you've got those Q&As you want to be asking them, you can go ahead and drop them into the Q&A bucket as well, and then continue to use the chat for chatting amongst yourselves and sharing your enthusiasm for our great illustrators and their illustrations that they're creating for us now. All right, we've got about a minute left. Giving you 2 minutes for this last one, so we're about halfway there. All right, about 10 seconds.
Oh boy.
All right. Time's up on your final draw. I kind of feel like I'm on Bake Off. Time's up on your signature draw. All right. Does anyone want to go first for the last time?
I'll go first so that I don't get too nervous.
Okay, go for it, Michaela.
It's just
that is impressive.
With some books.
That is very impressive. I bet we do know some librarians on this chat that would be able to do that. I have no doubt. We're seeing many that it's accurate, so they think that that is true to life. They feel confident that they could be that librarian. Oh, someone took a trapeze class. See, it's not far off. All right, Gene, do you want to go? John, anyone care?
Sure.
Go, Gene.
I did a librarian as a book tamer instead of a line tamer, and then I was gonna draw a whip, but that didn't feel right, so I did
All right, John. Let's see.
Okay, so I did the same idea as Gene.
Wow!
Guys,
I feel like we're sharing the same brain.
Only I did go with the whip. And so I have a book on a trapeze or a tightrope.
Oh, so you have elements of Michaela's as well.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I've got a
Guys,
paperback.
This is very freaky.
Yeah, there's a paperback juggling, and then there's Fahrenheit 451. That's
amazing.
Paula does say that there are books that she would whip, so she's on board with the whip. She thinks that it's appropriate, John. Thank you for that validation, Paula. You guys, that was great. I actually am like so impressed with all of you. I mean, I was before we logged in on this call. But to do that so fast and with such talent, thank you guys for humoring us and doing that for us. And I just also I can't get over how many similarities and cross kind of ideas that we had. This is clearly the perfect group. We should always be together. But that was awesome. Thank you guys so much for helping us kick off our ALA virtual plans with such a fun and entertaining event. We are going to turn things over to the Q&A portion. So I am going to look at some of the questions. These will be, some of them will be, if it's for a specific illustrator, I'll call that out in the question. But if not, you guys should all be able to, feel free to answer and share your thoughts. If it's helpful for me to kind of point to whoever starts, I can help facilitate that question, but otherwise you guys should feel free to just jump right in. So we'll start with this question from Edie. Edie would like to know, what medium do you find the hardest to work in and why? So this is a question for everyone. Whoever has an answer on the tip of their tongue can start.
Well, for me, I don't do sculpture because I find sculpture hard to do, I guess. But of the mediums that I have worked in, I guess I'd say watercolor is it's not necessarily the hardest. Like, it's kind of one of the easiest ones to get into, but I feel like it's the most difficult to kind of perfect because there's very, very little room for error compared to some other mediums. Anything that can, like, smudge or mistakes are kind of irrecoverable, whatever. So I like to stick with just pen and pencil, basically, and computer coloring.
Nice. Anyone else have a medium that frustrates them, they avoid?
Go ahead, Gene.
The rest are all masters.
I thought you were talking.
I feel like I bet anything that's physical that does a color other than black or white, I can't do. I can't do watercolor. I can't do any kind of paint. I can't do crayons. I can't do anything. I feel like I'm a relatively limited cartoonist. I just like doing black and white.
And meanwhile, you're the only one that did color today.
Yeah.
I know, that was just because you made me feel intimidated. I felt like I had to do it. And I'll also be honest, like the palettes that I have in my iPad, my son set up. He actually knows color, so he set up he like looked at the stuff that I colored and he's like, Dad, your coloring is so ugly, and he set up all these palettes for me. So I'm just choosing the colors that he chose.
I'll hop in. I think also watercolor is really challenging, but I really love watercolor. So fortunately, I think what helps me is I can fix mistakes in Photoshop and things like that, which that's pretty crucial because, you know, it's unforgiving. So you can't really undo something as soon as you lay it down. So that was really hard in the beginning learning. I'm still learning a lot, but I just love the look of watercolor. I think pastel is really hard for me. I'm trying to use that a little bit more, but I'm not used to things smudging all the time and you have to keep laying layers down again and again and again, and then you just lay down your arm the wrong way on it, and you have to do it again, and you smudge it. And then also graphite in black and white can be tricky for me because I love color. Kind of the opposite of Eugene a little bit. Like, I love color and I think in color, so stripping down to like sketching like this can sometimes be tough for me.
You did a fantastic job. I was very impressed. We'll do some individual questions now. So John, this one is specifically for you, though of course if anyone else has anything to add, feel free to jump in. Sarah would like to know, what fun facts about gators have you learned doing your series? So if anyone else is a gator,
I knew that I was going to get asked. And really nothing. I really haven't done any research on alligators or crocodiles. I did learn something, and I completely forgot it. It was something early on. I think the only fact that I know, and I can't even remember which, is that one of them, either alligators or crocodiles, one of them has like wide snouts and one of them has narrow snouts. And I think I have it reverse in my book. I forget. In terms of like which one is sort of like has a fatter snout. But no, I haven't really researched any gator trivia to kind of work into the book.
I mean, the series is ongoing. There's time.
There is time.
You never know.
I just finished the fourth one. If I'm gonna get some gator facts in, it'll be a while.
Hey, I heard they like vests. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. They're very dapper. They're very well dressed. At least my gators are.
I think that's true. That feels real to me.
Yeah.
All right, Gene, this question, we've got a lot of fans in the audience who have already read and loved Dragon Hoops and are quite attached to the team and would like to know how they're doing. So this particular question comes from Jan Lamb, but has been echoed throughout the Q&A. So can you give us an update? Are you still in touch with them?
Well, it took me so long to do that book that they're all adults now. Jeevan Sandhu, who is in chapter 8, I believe. He just got into medical school. Isaiah Thomas, another of the seniors in that on the team. He just became the first member of his family to get a college degree. He just got his bachelor's, and he's applying for graduate school now. Paris Austin, who's one of the stars, is one of the 2 superstars on that team. He just graduated. He also was one of the first folks in his family to get a college degree. He just got a college degree from UC Berkeley, from my alma mater. And then Ivan Rabb is in the NBA now. He plays in New York. They're all doing super well. They're all doing awesome, actually. I think it speaks to the culture of that team. Coach Lou and all of his team of coaches really built this amazing culture, and they all keep in touch. They're like this little family. I felt really, really honored to get to follow that team for a season.
Oh, that's so good. Everyone is, commenting in the chat how excited they are to hear about the guys. So thank you for sharing that update with us. Michaela, we have a question for you from Mary, who says that she just adored capitals, all capitals, adored the illustrations in We Are Water Protectors, and would love to know just a little bit more about the process that you used when creating the book.
Well, thank you very much, Mary. That's very, very kind of you. For We Are Water Protectors, I worked primarily in watercolor, which is usually the medium that I use the most. And then for that book about water, it just seemed extra appropriate to use that as the main medium. And so typically I just do as much as I can in watercolor. And then I might layer some other details on top, like colored pencil or gouache or other little things I have around the studio. And then once all of those are done, then I scan them all into Photoshop and scan each painting, because I'll usually paint larger than the print size. Then have to scan each piece in multiple parts, collage it all together, and then fix mistakes, which inevitably happen with watercolor. And I think for watercolor or water protectors, I left a lot of details like facial details and stuff to do on the computer, because I'm kind of learning a lot with each book. And versus the last book I just finished, I basically did as much as I could on, with paint and pastel and colored pencil. So with water protectors, I finished it up digitally and then just kind of paint on top of the painting, essentially, digitally. And yeah, it takes a while.
Well, we appreciate that you did every one of those steps, because it truly is such a beautiful book, and we're glad that we should share your art in book form, but also now in sketch-off form with our attendees.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jean, we do have just one quick question for you. Many inquiring minds would like to know what you are drawing on tonight.
Oh, I'm using Procreate on an iPad with an Apple Pencil. Yeah, it's my go-to now. It's actually kind of awesome. Again, my son kept making fun of me for the way I was drawing before. He's 16 now, and he's obviously way better at me than everything. So he told me I should get on Procreate, and he was right. It's awesome.
All right. Does John or Michaela, do you want to tell anyone in the audience about what you used tonight? Just paper and...
I just used some scrapped color paper that I have.
A little bit low tech.
Yeah, low tech, and a Sharpie.
Sharpie, nice.
Wait, Michaela was using a brush pen, right? Were you using some kind of brush pen?
Me, I was using a charcoal pencil.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you're getting all the textures.
Yeah, I've used one in a long time. It was pretty fun. My hands all smudged.
See, it seemed like a silly question, but you use different things, different strokes, different folks. All right, so we are coming kind of to the end of our time, and so we do have one more final question that comes from Rocco, and will be for everyone, and kind of just speaks to the crazy time that we're living in, and he would like to know how you guys are doing and how productive you have found quarantine.
Well, I finished the 4th Investigators in quarantine. But honestly, that's not too different than for me anyway, because I'm a bit of a hermit sometimes. So yeah, I've just been indoors and drawing the silly little pictures, which is kind of all I did as a kid too, so I've been managing.
Well, overall, I think we're doing okay. Our family's doing okay. Nobody has gotten sick. I think we're really lucky. But work has been harder. I think it takes me twice as long to do half as much, as a general rule.
I feel like that is kind of a universal experience we've been hearing on both sides, from the author illustrator to the publishing to the librarians. I'm sure many people in our audience feel that too, Jean. Michaela, how you doing?
Yeah, overall, you guys both got it right there too. I mean, I was working on deadline before it's sort of hit Alaska. Alaska is just kind of behind on a lot of things, and I think a lot of times we're just waiting to see how it would happen, how impactful it would be to life up here. And so I was already kind of since February working on this last book I finished in quarantine, I Sing You Down from the Stars, which is like a book about a mom welcoming a new baby and the gift or the tradition of gathering a secret medicine bundle or baby bundle. And so it was this really intimate, like inward looking book. So it was hard to kind of keep diving into it and finish it. And like I had so many deadline extensions and my editor, and they were great. They went with it, but I've never had a book drag out that long during the final stages. So I just had like rolling a painting here, rolling a painting there, and then a set there, and then the title page later, and then the cover later, and it just was a really drawn out thing. So likewise, it's taking a lot longer to do some things. Yeah, so I don't know, just managing, but it's weird for sure.
For sure. Well, thank you guys for taking some time to spend with us tonight and helping us kick off ALA Virtual. This was honestly the most fun way we could think to start our celebrations virtually with all of our librarian friends. So thank you for being such a big part of that and being such good sports. We do have another event tomorrow night, our author trivia event. So Kristen did put the registration link in the chat. So if you haven't had a chance to RSVP to that and you'd like to join us for another fun-filled evening, definitely click on that link and hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
bye,
you.
guys.